You've been there. The chills hit first. Then your skin starts burning. Your body aches like it's being wrung out like a wet cloth. And your temperature creeps past 38, then 39 degrees. You reach for the thermometer and think, what is actually happening inside me right now? Here's the thing most people don't realize. Fever is not a malfunction. It's not your body losing control. It's a precisely engineered defense system built over millions of years of evolution, firing exactly the way it was designed to. Today, we're going inside that system. From the moment a pathogen enters your body, all the way to the moment your temperature breaks and you start sweating it out. Every step, every mechanism. Let's go. First, you need to understand one concept. Your body has a thermostat. It lives in a region of your brain called the hypothalamus, specifically an area at its front called the preoptic area. This thermoregulatory center sets the body's temperature set point and regulates temperature homeostasis. Normally, that set point sits at about 37 degrees Celsius, 98.6 Fahrenheit. Think of it like the thermostat on your wall. Under normal conditions, if your house is at 70 degrees and you set it to 70, nothing turns on. Everything is calm, balanced. But fever? Fever is when someone reaches over and manually dials that thermostat up to 39, to 40, sometimes higher, and then your entire body scrambles to match that new setting. The question is, who's turning the dial, and why? It starts the moment something foreign enters your body. A bacterium, a virus, a toxin. These foreign agents carry chemical signatures that your immune system recognizes as threats. One of the most studied is lipopolysaccharide, or LPS, a molecule found on the outer wall of certain bacteria. When LPS enters the body, an immune protein called lipopolysaccharide binding protein binds to it, and together they dock onto a receptor on a macrophage, a frontline immune cell. This triggers the release of endogenous cytokines, interleukin-1, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These are your body's alarm signals, and once they're released, everything changes. Now here's where it gets fascinating. These cytokines are proteins, big molecules. They can't easily cross the blood-brain barrier, the brain's security wall. So how do they tell the hypothalamus to raise the temperature? Fever signals gain access to the central nervous system via two routes, a humoral pathway and a neural pathway. The humoral pathway involves pyrogenic cytokines traveling through the bloodstream to reach specialized brain regions where the blood-brain barrier is thin. These entry points are called circumventricular organs, and the most critical one for fever is the OVLT, the organum vasculosum of the lamina terminalis. Endogenous pyrogens enter the perivascular space of the OVLT through fenestrated capillary walls, stimulating cells to produce prostaglandin E2, PGE2, which then diffuses into the adjacent preoptic area to raise the temperature set point and cause fever. PGE2. Remember that name. It is the master key. The synthesis of PGE2 begins with membrane phospholipids being converted to arachidonic acid by an enzyme called phospholipase A2. Arachidonic acid is then converted through cyclooxygenase, COX, into an intermediate, and finally into PGE2 by prostaglandin E synthase. This is why ibuprofen and aspirin work. They are COX inhibitors. They block that conversion step. No COX activity means no PGE2. No PGE2 means the hypothalamus never gets the signal to raise the set point. The fever never rises, or it drops. The critical PGE2 synthesis occurs in brain endothelial cells. When PGE2 synthesis is blocked, or its receptor EP3 is deleted from the median preoptic nucleus, no fever occurs, even when cytokine production remains elevated in the periphery and in the brain. That's how precise this system is. You can have a full immune war happening in your blood, and without PGE2 binding to those specific neurons, the thermostat stays put. So the set point gets raised. Now what? Your body temperature hasn't actually changed yet. It just got new orders. And now your body has to work to reach that new temperature. This is the part you feel. Elevated prostaglandin levels in the hypothalamus induce the mechanisms of heat conservation through vasoconstriction and heat production through shivering thermogenesis, until the blood and core temperature rise to match the new hypothalamic set point. That's why you shiver when you have a fever, even though you're already hot. You're not cold. Your body is generating heat on purpose. Your blood vessels are tightening to trap warmth inside. Your muscles are contracting rhythmically to burn fuel and produce heat. Your body is building itself a new, hotter baseline. And once it reaches it, the shivering stops. You feel the heat settle in. Now you might think, why would the body do this? Isn't high temperature dangerous? Yes. And also, that's the point. The benefits of fever include inhibiting bacterial growth by making conditions less favorable and increasing the efficiency of immune cells. Bacteria evolved in an environment where human body temperature is 37 degrees. Push it to 39 or 40, and many of them struggle to replicate. Meanwhile, your immune cells, particularly neutrophils and lymphocytes, become more mobile, more bactericidal, and more phagocytic. Lymphocyte transformation is enhanced, and the effects of interferon and IL-1 are amplified. Fever is not your body malfunctioning. It's your body overclocking. Eventually, the immune system begins winning. The pathogen load drops, cytokine levels fall, PGE2 production slows. When PGE2 release ends, the temperature set point is lowered back to normal, and the reverse processes, vasodilation, end of shivering, sweating, are used to cool the body back down to its lower setting. That sweating you feel when a fever breaks, that's not weakness, that's victory. That's your body dumping heat because it no longer needs the elevated temperature. The battle has been won, and the thermostat is being dialed back down. So the next time a fever hits, remember what you now know. A pathogen triggered your macrophages. Your macrophages released cytokines. Those cytokines crossed into your brain and set off a chemical chain reaction that ended with prostaglandin E2 physically resetting your body's thermostat. Your muscles shivered to generate heat. Your blood vessels constricted to trap it. And your immune system fought harder in that elevated heat than it ever could at normal temperature. Your body didn't lose control. It took control.